Welcome. It's 7:04 p.m. on Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. The Tooele City Council is meeting in a business meeting. This meeting is being held at Tooele City Hall in the council chambers located at 90 North Main Street in Tooele, Utah. This is also being streamed electronically on the Tooele City YouTube channel. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please rise and repeat after me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our second item is a roll call. Councilwoman Manzio.
Present.
Councilwoman Goches.
Present.
Councilman Hanson.
Present.
Councilman McCall.
Present.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I'm also present. Our third item is a public comment period. This is the time for the public to address the council. We ask that you state your name into the mic, you keep your comments to 3 minutes or less, and then you sign the paper over by Michelle. The time is now the public's. Seeing no one come forward, I will close the public comment period, and we will move on to item 4, which is a public hearing and motion on ordinance 2024-36, an ordinance of Tooele City amending the Copper Canyon PUD regulation regarding lot sizes for certain lots, presented by Roger Baker, the city attorney.
Thank you, Council. I'm presenting this for Andrew this evening in light of his absence, but I have been involved with him in the discussions and did prepare this ordinance. Is the microphone working on your end? Because I don't hear anything special, but that's okay.
Okay.
So we have a development agreement with Bach Homes for the Copper Canyon subdivision. It anticipates 14 phases, and the development agreement establishes the minimum lot size for lots in this development. It's a planned unit development at 6,000 square feet. However, running through the backs of existing and future lots is a 12-foot easement for an existing major sewer collector line. And we have preserved an easement through the existing phases, but it's problematic because the landowners, while they own the 12 feet, can't do anything with it. It has to be gravelled, it can't have structures or landscaping, or and so it's been a source of difficulty for homeowners. And Bach Homes suggested, why don't we give you, city, that 12 feet as a right-of-way, and you can reduce the size of the lots from 6 to 5,000 feet. That way, the fenced-in area on the property lines is entirely the owners without restrictions due to the sewer line. We thought it was a great compromise, and appreciate them bringing that forward. This ordinance accomplishes that amendment for particular lots for a reduction in the lot size. And the Bach Homes representatives are here if you have any questions or if they'd like to address you.
So is it just going to be 4 lots, or is it going to have more in the future?
More, they're specified in the ordinance at the bottom of the first page, lots 718 through 732, 12014 through 12024, and 13,001, those particular lots. And your exhibit materials will illustrate that so you can see it as well as know the
Yeah,
numbers.
and I'd seen it, I just wanted it to be said, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, I thought it was important
yeah,
to make sure we all know exactly what's happening here.
yeah, I
so-
agree, yeah.
Are there any other questions or comments?
That was one of the questions at the Planning Commission meeting also when they approved it, is that would be an ordinance, so.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, I do have a question. Roger, as the city is going to be I guess, the owner of the easement, We will
We
be
will
the-
own the land in fee.
Okay. And will we have to put gravel, put some base down to protect against barriers of weed? And what type of, ground coverage will
Right.
we?
So we need this not just to contain the sewer line, we need it to access the sewer line. So that will basically be a road for us.
Oh.
And yes, the plan is to do weed control and have gravel so that it's can be traveled by our city trucks.
Okay, any other questions?
In the new year, we would follow this up with an amendment in the development agreement that would allow for the decrease in lots. But for now, this is the first step we need to take.
Thank you. This ordinance has a public hearing, so we will open the time up to the public. We ask that you state your name into the mic, keep your comments to 3 minutes or less, and then sign the paper by Michelle. The time is now the public's. Seeing no one come forward, I will close the public hearing and entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve ordinance 2024-36, amending the Copper Canyon PUD regulation regarding lot sizes for certain lots.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Manzione and a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 5 is ordinance 2024-35, an ordinance of the Tooele City Council establishing the dates, times, and places of its public meetings in 2025, presented by Michelle Pitt, the city recorder.
Thank you. Our city charter and our city code requires us to prescribe by ordinance the date, time, and place of our public meetings, and to at least have one public meeting each month. So we will hold our meetings here at Tooele City Hall at 90 North Main, and we'll have work meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Wednesdays of every month, except as otherwise noticed. And our business meetings will be at 7 o'clock p.m. on the first and third Wednesdays of every month, except as otherwise noticed. So our schedule for 2025 will be January 15th, February 5th and 19th, March 5th and 19th, April 2nd and 16th, May 7th and 21st, June 4th and 18th, July 16th, August 6th and 20th, September 3rd and 17th, October 1st and 15th, November 5th and 19th, and December 3rd and 17th. We're only having one meeting in January because the first Wednesday in January is the 1st, and it's a holiday. And then in July, we'll also only have one meeting because the first Wednesday is July 2nd, and we decided we're not going to hold a meeting that week because we have our week-long 4th of July celebration, and we don't want to interfere with that. So that will be our schedule for 2025.
Any questions or comments? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll motion that we approve ordinance 2024-35, an ordinance of the Tooele City Council establishing the dates, times, and places of its public meetings in 2025.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Goches and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I also vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 6 is Resolution 2024-97, a resolution of the Tooele City Council declaring surplus certain technology-related equipment and authorizing its disposal, presented by Michelle Pitt, the city recorder.
Okay, we have two departments, the IT department and the library, that have identified a number of technology-related equipment. They're no longer needed by the city. And it is our city's policy that we first make full use of the technology-related equipment, and then we dispose of it according to our policy. So there is a list attached to this resolution. There's a long list from IT, and then there's another list from the library of different items that are no longer needed. So we're just asking that you declare them surplus so that we can dispose of them, and we'd like to do that through a recycling company.
Any questions or comments?
I just wondered who still had a BlackBerry. That's really old.
Sitting around a while. Huh? It's got the flip
I have
phone
a
up
flip
here.
phone,
yeah.
that's why I don't need it.
All right, if there's no specific questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we approve Resolution 2024-97, a resolution for Tooele City Council declaring surplus certain technology-related equipment and authorizing its disposal of this big, long list of items.
Thanks.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson and a second from Councilwoman Manzione. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. That
Thanks,
passes
Michelle.
5-0. Item 7 is Resolution 2024-95, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with JUB Engineers for the Water Reclamation Facility Phase 1 upgrade design, presented by Jamie Grandpré, the Public Works Director.
Thank you. So I got a resolution for you tonight, 2024-95. This is an agreement with JUB to start Phase 1 upgrades design. A couple years ago, we had a Phase 1 project, and so you're probably thinking, why are we going back to a Phase 1 project? After we had the Phase 1 upgrades we did back in '21, we did a master plan. We updated the master plan, and that was a 3-phase, Phase 1, 2, and 3. So we're back to Phase 1 as part of the new master plan. So that's why this is still Phase 1 and not Phase 2. So I wanted to clarify that. This is one of our first design projects that we're trying to get shovel-ready, as we got a bond that's coming down. We'll be going to bond for certain projects. This is one of those, I think, 5 projects that we have planned for the bond. And so this will be the first one that we go to design with. This one will take care of just a few items at the water reclamation facility that is aging and needs to be upgraded. The first one being our ultraviolet disinfection system, so our UV. We do not use chlorination to disinfect the water. We actually use UV, which is UV lamps. We have a set, a whole channel of 5 cassettes of UV lamps down there that are currently down there that is now obsolete and is a brand that's no longer being supported. The company got bought out by another company, and so that company is phasing out everything from the old company, and we have the old company UV system. So they're willing to keep parts for the next 2 years, so in the next 2 years we have to figure out what we're going to do. So with this, and for as part of the design, we are going to put UV in our future channel. It's hard to take UV down to upgrade an old UV system and not have a second one to go into. So we're going to put a new UV system in the second channel, and then over time just get this first channel upgraded. And so that way we'll have both channels be upgraded, but at least I can keep the plant running, upgrade the second channel, and then it will give us at least 2 channels of UV. We have clarifier 2 improvements, which, in the first Phase 1 that we did in 2021, we did clarifier number 1, and clarifier number 1 failed on us and had to be rehabbed. Clarifier 2 is the same age as clarifier 1, just now a couple of years older. And so clarifier 2 is probably going to be coming down the pike, and so we're just trying to be proactive and get clarifier 2 rebuilt, and then just some improvements with the water pump station. So those are the kind of the projects that we're focusing with this Design 1 upgrades. This will be for design with JUB. The agreement is the amount of $114,700, and so I bring this to you tonight for approval.
And you can't bond until you're shovel-ready,
Yeah,
correct?
bond until we're shovel
Yes.
ready.
So
Yeah,
this is
what
an important
happens with
step.
the bond is once I get the bond, then I have so many months to get stuff completed. And so we don't want to do that in design. I want to do that shovel ready. So I've got this project, a couple other projects coming down the pipe that I'll come to you with to get us going so that we'll be shovel-ready for the bond.
Any other questions or comments?
JUB has been a good company to work with,
Yeah.
seems.
And you've seen the quality
They did
of
a
work
good
that we
job.
get with them, so they did all the design for that Headworks building. A lot of that Headworks building was kind of my vision for what I wanted for Headworks, and JUB was able to pull it off and brought a nice building to us.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, just so Jamie know that there's no hard feelings against them, I make a motion that we approve Resolution 2024-95, a resolution of Tooele City Council approving an agreement with JUB Engineers for the Water Reclamation Facility Phase 1 upgrade designs.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman McCall and a second from Councilwoman Goches. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I also vote aye. That passes 5-0.
And as you see, Jamie, I didn't even squint at the $114,000 you're spending again.
I'm not done yet, Dave.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got a couple more on
The whole
there.
agenda.
All right, item 8 is Resolution 2024-98, a resolution of the Tooele City Council amending the Tooele City fee schedule by adding public improvement permit review fees, presented by Jamie Grandpré, the Public Works Director.
Okay, we talked about this in work session, so I'll just do a quick summary for the business meeting. So this is Resolution 2024-98. This is to add review fees for some off-site type utility work that happens that we don't have in our fee schedule. Currently, we have our subdivision review fees, site plan review fees, and we have nothing that follows public improvement reviews. And so that's kind of been a gray area, and in the last few months, we've kind of seen that we've had some of those come up to our office for reviews and have not had a mechanism to charge them a fee. And so we would like to put a fee together at $300 per hour to collect on those, and we'll collect a deposit for those and just be able to have a mechanism to cover some costs so that we don't have to take on that burden and help with those. That's kind of the summary in a nutshell, and I don't know if you want me to expand on it any further than what we did in the business meeting or the work session.
I think that was sufficient. Does anyone have any other questions or concerns?
Any more questions come up regarding those?
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve Resolution 2024-98, amending the Tooele City fee schedule by adding public improvement permit review fees.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Manzione and a second from Councilwoman Goches. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Item 9 is Resolution 2024-100, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Rhino Pumps LLC for repairs to Well 5, presented by Jamie Grandpré, the Public Works Director.
Okay, this is Resolution 2024-100. I'm glad I was able to be the 100 resolution for 2024. And so this is for repairs to Well 5. So just a little bit of background. We have 15 wells that are in part of the system that are all functioning. Some of these wells have been with us for quite a while, and we've found that some of the wells are not pumping and have the capacity that they once had. And so we made a decision that we wanted to see if we could look at a couple of wells, 2 or 3 a year during the wintertime, to see if we could increase their capacities. One of our deficiencies with the state is our pumping capacity is not where it needs to be. That means we're not pumping enough water to maintain growth, and so we're working at, getting more wells approved and getting more wells drilled. But I also think we need to look at some of our current wells and see, can we get a little bit more water from them? So we ended up taking Well 5 and opening Well 5 up and having Rhino Pumps come. They pulled the motor, they pulled the pump, they ran a camera down. Camera goes all the way down to the bottom of the well and goes through and looks at our screens. So our screens are all there to where you can look at the screens, and that's where the water comes in, right, to the well, and that's what pumps your water up the casing and back out and out to the distribution system. So we ran a camera down well 5, got down to the screens. We didn't see no screens. We just saw growth that was on the screens. So well 5, we're lucky to get 500 gallons a minute out of it. Hopefully after we get some of this stuff done, we can increase that capacity and get some more pumping, get some more water from that well. So what this is Rhino now has kind of did their inspection. They gave us a list of items they think we need to do to this well to get it back to where it needs to be. So we go through those items and we pick and say, okay, this is the stuff that we want done that we think are going to be the stuff that we need to do to get this well back into, pumping again and get some water capacity out of it. So with this thing will give us a new pump, we need a new pump for this well. It will rebuild the motor and well column repairs. It'll brush and bail, air shock the screens, and then do video inspection afterwards to make sure everything is nice and clean. So it comes to a cost of $89,895, which isn't bad for all the work that's going to be done to it. So I bring that to you for approval, and so that we can get that done and hopefully get well 5 buttoned back up and ready for the season. I can answer any questions that you may have. I also let you know that we are doing well 14 as well. So I'll probably come to you in the future for what we need to do with well 14.
Can you tell the flow rate? Because you said right now it's pumping 500.
About 500.
What do you anticipate after the rate?
Now, Paul would like us to get back to 5,000, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
That's a big jump.
No, if we get back to 1,000 or even 1,500, that would be wonderful. I don't know if well 5 will get us that. We went back through the records, and I don't know if it's been done prior to that, but we went back through the records, and we figured the last time it was opened was like in the 60s.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's been a long time coming. So hopefully, maybe we can get enough water out of there to make it worthwhile.
So we have a history on what it did pump in the past?
The records that we have, at least for the past few years, we're lucky to get about 500 gallons a minute. And sometimes it would airlock. So it would pump and then it would airlock and shut down. Well, when you don't have no water coming through the screens, that's when you're going to airlock.
Sure.
So hopefully once we get the air shock done and get it brushed and bailed and get all that growth out and get those screens open back up, it could generate quite a bit of water.
So you said well 14 is coming next.
Yep.
One at a time. Are there others? I mean, how old? We talk about water a lot, but we don't talk about the age of our wells.
Yeah, we have several that are newer, right, that do a good job. We have some that are older. It's hard to do too many a year just because it takes time, and I need them for the summer. I don't want to have them down during the summer.
Sure.
So I want just a winter job, and so I'm afraid to do more than 2 or 3 just because it does take a little bit of time, and the rebuilds, getting the stuff back, getting the well put back together, it takes some time. So we kind of started with 5 and 14 for right now to see what that does and see how long that takes and kind of gauge maybe what we'll do in the future if we can handle maybe 3 or 4. We do have 15, but I don't think all 15 need to be done right now. Probably a good portion, about half of those probably need to be done right now, and maybe that would help with capacity or pumping capacity. But it's kind of hard to gauge how many to do right now. This is the first time that we've ever done, this for a while, so it's just kind of get an idea. And I believe we have 2 different companies. We have Rhino doing one and Nickerson's doing the other. So with that, and we're not the only city that does that, right? I mean, there's a lot of cities that are having these guys come and do well breakdowns and clean wells up and whatnot. So it's kind of hard to keep them, to come, and they do the work, and then, they'll do the first inspection and they'll give us an idea of what needs to be done. Then we got to get those approved and then get those approved. Then they'll come out and do that kind of stuff. And, and then it's the company, the crew that's doing the cleaning's not going to be the company to put it back together, so it takes a little bit of time. And so I'm afraid to do too many at a time, but yeah, if we can get 2 done and feel comfortable doing 2, maybe next summer or next winter we do 3 or 4, to get them done. But there's several that need to be done. But it's like doing rate studies, right? You do them every 5 years. We should have been doing this, we should have been doing a well every so often and keeping them clean. And we're trying to get the pumping capacities up, not just with new wells, but even just see if some of our older wells will help bring that capacity up.
Thank you.
You have this in your budget? Is that where the money's coming from,
Yep.
or? Okay.
Yep. It's in our water budget.
Okay.
I have a little bit in there just to help with, maintenance kind of stuff and to keep things up and running, so. And the 89's not too bad. I figure 14 will probably come in about the same, give or
Yeah.
take. And if you know where they're at, where well 5 is. Well 5 is the one in town
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
400 South. Well 14 is the Anderson well up on the hill there
One by the canyon.
by the canyon on the south end of town.
Just shows the importance of regular maintenance and upkeep.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions or comments?
I'm sure Dave don't have any.
This is less than the other resolutions.
I know, that's why I didn't say it. Don't worry about it.
Back to you anyway, so.
All right, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2024-100, a resolution of the Tooele City Council approving an agreement with Rhino Pumps LLC for repairs to well number 5.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Goches and a second from Councilman Hanson. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. Thanks,
Thank
Jamie.
you.
That passes 5-0. Item 10 is Resolution 2024-96, a resolution of the Tooele City Council reappointing Katrina Call, Brian Roth, and Jeff Hammer to the Administrative Control Board of the North Tooele City Special Service District. I'm presenting this one, so in our packet, it shows the term of service and the length of service, so these 3 are up. Also in that packet, I did see that Amanda Graff is still on there, and she is no longer on the district. So I believe Kim Stenquist, and I think Kim's name might be spelled incorrectly, I don't know.
I think it is too.
So that's just the one correction to the resolution that I saw. Yeah, there's 5, there's a 5-member board, so. Are there any questions that I can answer? Okay, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve Resolution 2024-96.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Katrina Call is my sister, so I am going to abstain from voting.
Okay. Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 4-0. Item 11 is Resolution 2024-99, a resolution of the Tooele City Council amending the Tooele City fee schedule for police department fees, presented by Adrian Day, the Chief of Police.
Evening, council. This is cleaning up our fee schedule on the police department. And it's 2 things, really. It's removing consultations from reports, which we don't want to be in the habit of advertising. We have done recommendations at certain businesses in town on security and stuff like that. Removing scale diagram, I don't know of any scale diagrams we have. Those are for accidents and big accidents now, such as deaths or substantial injury. We do have the Faro scanner, which we wouldn't release anyway because it provides everything on the scene. And videotape, we don't use at all. And the second part is removing the bicycles from our fee. We don't photograph or license. We don't register bikes. At one point, we did. Where that information went must have went with the officer who was in charge of it. I've not seen it in the almost 24 years I've been in this department. I don't know if you have any questions on either of those.
Any questions or comments?
Some cities do use the registration of bikes. It's an easy way to identify them when you find them. And Salt Lake City did a study in 2017 finding why they only had 1,500 in the whole city registered, and it was basically the fee, which was very similar to this. So they've removed a fee. They've purchased a database that people can go online and register their bikes for free, and that's a database they can search anytime they want, the police, and utilize it that way.
Do they know if that decreased theft at all, like of bicycles?
No. No, most of them are, a lot of them are taken apart.
Yeah.
The VIN's taken off. I think 83, several years ago, 83 reports they had. They were able to identify a bike. 83 in the whole city. That's something, but it was a very small number.
Yeah.
I have 8 found bikes so far this year. Don't know I need a database just yet, but we may be a recommendation in the future.
And then fingerprinting, we've just never had anything in the fee schedule that's talked about that?
No, it's just staying the same. We
Oh,
don't-
okay.
We don't charge local residents and $5 when you're outside the city.
Perfect. Okay. Any other questions? I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve Resolution 2024-99, amending the Tooele City fee schedule for the police department fees.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Manzione and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. Thanks, Chief. Item 12 is our invoices and purchase orders presented by Michelle Pitt, but she stepped out for a second, so I don't know. I think there was at least one that we got.
It was
emailed.
like, Loretta might have, do you have them, Loretta?
Should we do the minutes and then go back?
She's right there on the
Yeah,
phone.
she's
I
on the
don't
phone.
know. She's coming in. Just wait a second. We can do the minutes. Okay, we'll stick on this one then. Invoices and purchase orders.
We have 2 invoices tonight. One is for Young Chevrolet for a 2025 Chevy Silverado, and this is for the fire department. They are on state contract, and it's for $53,098. And then an invoice to Mountain Land Supply Company. This is for parts for water meters, $39,213.28. That's it.
Any questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the invoices as
Second.
stated.
We have a motion from Councilwoman Goches and a second from Councilman McCall. We'll take it to a vote. Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilman McCall?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. That passes 5-0. Item 13 is our minutes from December 4th, 2024 business meeting. I'm not aware of any corrections. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion we approve the minutes from the December 4th business meeting.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Councilman Hanson and a second from Councilwoman Goches. We'll take it to a vote. Councilman McCall?
Aye.
Councilman Hanson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Goches?
Aye.
Councilwoman Manzione?
Aye.
I'm Councilman Brady, and I vote aye. That passes 5-0. And item 14 is to adjourn at 7:39 PM.